Hello, everybody, and welcome to Waylander Gaming. This is Waylander here, bringing you the conclusion to the finals of the Zimbabwean national team playoffs, the qualifiers. It was Primal Vanguard who managed to win all their games. So all the teams left in the competition are playing for pride as we get into the first game here, just waiting for the players to show up. It's going to be Leo up against No Game No Life in our first best of three for the evening. Thank you everybody for tuning in. My apologies for the delay. As you can see, we're just waiting for the players to show up and then we can get into this particular matchup. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Sunday evening. It's a pleasure to have you with me. As I see most of the votes all going the way of No Game No Life. Interestingly enough, 100% of the votes going their way. And well, it's just the final two players for No Game No Life who have to show up. Because, well, without their final two players, I don't think they win. Then the votes will not be 100% anymore. Welcome to the stream, Karina. As you can see, we're just waiting for the players to show up. It is difficult with all the network issues and everything else that we all experience. But hopefully we can get this show on the road very, very, very quickly. I am expecting a very good game for this first one because let's be honest, pride is something to play for. Primordial Vanguard is the team that's going to be representing Zimbabwe as their national team, having won all the matches so far. This is the final three games for us to conclude, so it's going to be quite a long stream tonight. And well, hopefully we'll be able to get all the action up and running. Hardman, if you're wondering whether Econ Province is playing, they should be playing, but I think it's on the most wanted list, which is on the alternate stream. We are running a dual stream at the moment. We're testing out a few things. We just want to see how well we can run multiple streams. Because right now on Waylander Gaming, since we're a tournament-based channel and we love to feature a lot of tournament stuff, well, we're going to be getting a whole bunch of different games, tournaments coming through. There's PUBG starting later in the week. Call of Duty Mobile will be also up and running with the tournament the following week. Karina, yes, they were supposed to start at 9, but well, I'm not sure how this is gonna be playing out. I'm just waiting, because I'm not the organizer of this, so I'm just the streamer. As you all know, I do stream tournaments for wherever there is tournaments that needs to be available. So I'll just check for you very, very quickly. Hardman, where the Econ, so Econ Province, I think their game is currently playing. So on the alternate stream, it's Econ Province up against Dark Souls, because I know that the Bang Gang Pandora's Code Red was that game already finished off. That was a quick match. Apparently set the record for the fastest game on stream. 8 minutes 39 seconds. I can't tell you who won it, right, because I'm on this stream, but I was just sent a message. 8 minutes 39 seconds, fastest game that we featured. What's up, Zeniton? Welcome to the lobby. Hey, all good, can't complain. I see everybody is ready. I think we can get this show on the road. Let me press the start button. Karina, this is a best of three. As we get into the banning phases, it's going to be No Game No Life as the home team. So are they? No, no, no. No Game No Life is the away team. Okay, let me just get that on screen for you. My apologies.
True love is like blood.
Yeah. So, if they're not on this particular matchup, then I think that Econ Province will be playing probably next. I think they must have got one of the teams to come in earlier. Karina, for the Zimbabwe national qualifiers, we don't do lobby bans. So, dealing with the bans coming out so far, as you said, Zedachan, Leo's got a plan. Is their plan being kicked into play here with the Camilla Hayabusa Iridel bans coming out?
Time to drop the beat of the flash.
So no game, no life with the as the away team. We'll be getting second picks and second bans as we see MK8 Alpha for the Leo side of Leo. Looks like he's going to be locking onto the Fasa.
Payback time.
So maybe that Irithel ban now not playing in the favor of no game, no life.
My magic flows as freely as the winds.
So Ocean is asking where's Zena. He's here in the lobby next to me, virtually next to me. You know, we're not like we're sitting in the same room. So we've got the Tigreal Veil combination is quite a good one.
Enters the scene.
And it's a jungle. Jungle Akai. So yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing either Raphael or Florin.
The whole world green and lively.
10 years of imprisonment.
Agreed. He's gonna have to be very patient. I'm assuming then they're gonna go for an initiator on the XP lane. That could be very good. That means either a Lunox or a carry bat. Going for the Melissa, interesting. I would have thought that they went for the Lunox or the carry ban as a hard counter to the tanky composition.
Chivalry is dead, and I will revive it.
I thought Leo was the home team. Was supposed to be the home team.
Back on stage.
So, well, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, because they are playing pretty much for pride right now. So, Baby29 going for the alpha pick as a potential counter to the Terizla because of the true damage.
Experience the euphony of suffering.
Interesting, the double MM. But we'll wait for the spell. Really, it should be Granger in the jungle. Yeah, which will be the Akai and the Alpha. And hopefully just do some poke damage to their front line. Force out maybe the heavy spin earlier than usual, if Sakuna has to use it defensively. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Kirina, Melissa is still very, very strong. Brody, though, is looking interesting. I haven't played it or tried out Brody yet, so I haven't really formulated my honest opinion on Brody. But when I get some time, I'll definitely be testing him out. Because with that buff, that was quite a big buff. Doesn't seem like much, but Brody's one weakness is that animation time. So if you reduce his animation time, it's gonna be something else. Okay, I was just watching the Florin from the corner of the screen. Florin has started to move. Both teams starting off the jungle on the same side. It looks like a Veil here, opting against helping the Granger and wants to get a bit of a head start to clear the wave against the Faster, because Faster does have the faster wave clear. I mean, even with the early start, you can just see Faster out clears him. Yeah, so we should expect to see a bit of a slow start as we're watching Granger use a somewhat old school rotation in there's the knockup onto the Faster. She uses the bird form to get back. Florin is there just to provide that extra heals, using that full jungle clear rotation. A pity you can't pull buffs, the red buff in the small camp anymore. There's the engagement onto the Tigreal. He second skills the Akai back. Akai already level 4 and going for a small camp steal here. He manages to take one of it. Granger should get level 4 anyway. There's a heavy spin pinning the Tigreal against the wall. This should be first blood. Oh, the flicker comes through. The stun from the Brody. He manages to secure the first blood. Granger trying to re-engage but gets stunned up as Akai takes down the Granger. No game, no life. Putting the pressure here on early. Engagement onto the Clint. Throws out the first skill onto the Florin, which she's just going to walk it off. Throw out a healing spell or two. Yeah. So there's the engagement here. A lot of pressure being placed in the early game by no game, no life. Leo trying to respond to this. They're getting a bit of poke damage onto their Kai. There's going to be Faster. Lands that feathered strike. What a beautiful heavy spin from Sakuna as they trap up Sly the jungler, giving themselves the space that they needed. Akai with the retribution still available. Yeah, that's dangerous. I mean, it takes a lot of skill to land that, but I mean, that's dangerous. Oh, I thought. Yeah, so we should see them focusing a lot here onto the... Oh, there's the implosion onto the Brody. Second skill, pulling the Brody back. There's the knock-up. Veil with the windstorm, but Brody flickers out. They were just a little bit, like, seconds. That's all it needed. Just maybe a second quicker to help that Tigreal out. Yeah, nice play there. There's the feathered airstrike, zoning everybody away. Granger throws out that Death Sonata. Oh, the Tornaport memory comes in from the Brody, but he's so low. He's like 1 HP. The fight is still continuing. Brody is into the mix. He's second killing with a Floral Bloom, just healing everybody off. Yeah. The Great Escape. You saw it live right here in the top lane. The Great Escape by Brody. Yes, it is. There's the feathered airstrike once more. Heavy spin being used early onto the Tiger. He wants to get the implosion off, but he's just being pushed away. The implosion doesn't manage to land onto anybody. Kirina, yeah, that's no game, no life in the blue. And, well, with 5 kills to nothing and a 2.5k gold lead, I would definitely say they are dominating. But as we say that, Clint gets the first kill on the board for Leo with a solo kill in the top lane. So Turtle being pulled and then re-pulled, reset. There's the engagement onto the Tigreal. The stuns are coming out. Akai tanking everything in the front line, knowing that he's got Florin there just to heal him up. She does have that Floral Bloom coming out. There's the full combination. The Feathered Airstrike is in there. Tigreal with the implosion. The Floral Bloom comes out. The heavy spin trapping up the Clint against the wall as they do manage to get the kill. But Brody torn apart Memory once more, taking the kill count in favor of No Game, No Life. That's true. And, well, Sakuna was on a killing spree before he was shut down there. So a bit of gold would have went the way of Leo. They would have been happy with that. We do see that gold stays fairly even. Oh, the Windstorm not managing to catch onto the Brody. He dashed back just in time. This second turtle of the game. Sticking around for very long. It might turn into third turtle of the game. Oh, nice positioning there from MK8 Alpha as Sakuna kills the objective. Heavy spin comes out as the counter to the implosion. Double kill going the way of the Fasa. They want to continue this fight. There's Terusla. Terusla is low. Where's Terusla going? Was that a lag out? Yeah. And with this, I think this should be the first turret of the game. And it's a mid lane one. Actually, it's the second. Mid lane and bot lane. Oh, Brody on a killing spree. He really is using that early game advantage to his advantage. Taking down the Clint. Yeah, in WZ I do agree. Fasa is extremely annoying at this particular moment in time in the game. After this update to her, the range on her skills is crazy. But speaking about crazy, there's the engagement. Tiger with the implosion onto the Akai, but once again the heavy spin comes out. He's trying to front line so much. The team is in the mix. The feathered airstrike once more, zoning everyone away. And Florin healing the Akai. Look at this. Look at this. He was like quarter HP, and now he's like just over half HP, and back to full health. What madness is this? Yeah, it's this whole early game strat. Moonton really went hard with their update to try to get the games to be quicker. Oh! Yeah. The stun came through from the Fasa. She did commit that feathered airstrike, but there's Baby 29 on the Alpha. Spirit of Alpha onto the Tiger. The implosion is in there, but it's not going to be able enough to keep himself alive. It was the Granger and Clint that had to retreat. It was a 4v3 situation, not the kind of position you want to be in if you're Leo at this moment in time. But with no Tigreal, the retreat is on, but it wouldn't really be a retreat. It's more a structured, controlled movement to the Lord. Terizla is AFK. Should we be pausing? Good spot there, Ocean. We were just talking about Terizla and the lag out, and then we forgot about him. So right now, things looking a little bit bleak for Leo. Yeah, the healers are quite OP. The anti-heal, the only way anti-heal is gonna work against the healing comp right now is if you stack the anti-heals. So you need one of each type, so that the anti-heal of each one will proc, because it doesn't like really double stack on a single item. So you're gonna need Dominance, Ice, the Glowing Wand, and Sea Halberd, all three on a team to deal with the healing composition. There's a reason we call it epic hell. Or Tartarus, whatever you want to call it. Epic is just a whole different level. But I suppose you do get different types of gamers. You get people who play the game seriously, as did most of us here, because we're interested in tournaments and esports and bringing the professional scene here to Africa. And then you get people who play games for fun. There's nothing wrong with playing a game for fun. You're not really going to be worrying about strategies and different rotations and all the theory that goes with it. You're just going to rock up and play and press buttons. Yeah, it's a Mobile Legends is a MOBA. MOBAs are some of the most difficult game types to play. If you look at League of Legends, Dota 2, they're all on that same in that particular style. If you don't spend your time doing your research, checking your patch notes, seeing how adjustments affects the game, and if you don't adjust fast enough to the current meta, because every time there's an update, there's a new meta, you're gonna struggle. Okay, so we have passed the 3-minute mark. I'm just gonna unpause, and we'll see. Hopefully, Terizla is back. But we have used up our full. Oh, he is back. He is back. We see movement. We see life. But no game, no life. Showing no mercy. Sitting with a 12-2 score in their favor and building up close to a 7k gold lead. Stealing the farm once more as Brody is trying to take this mid lane turret. There's Akai with the heavy spin, trapping the Tigreal. Oh, the Spirit of Alpha knocked him out from there. The stun comes through. There's the windstorm onto the Florin, but Florin just pops that Floral Bloom, healing up once more. Torn apart my memory from the Brody as they're trying to focus this turret. Terizla with the penalty zone. Akai trying to save the Brody. His second skills to safety. The heals from the Florin just healing him up. He was so low. One hit away and then he's back to full health. The shield has been popped in the mid lane, so we won't see this tier 3 turret being taken down. I think this is Granger lagging out as well. Yeah, but we have expired the 3-minute pause timer here. So sadly, Granger, The windstorm being used to clear the way. Florin taking the brunt of the damage. Pops out that floral bloom once more. There's the feathered airstrike with the stuns. Spear of Alpha into the base. This mid lane turret should be melted down. Granger is back, as we can see. Oh no, they weren't focusing on the mid lane turret. But Akai sees the opportunity, takes the bot lane turret. Nobody was locking on. They'll have to wait for the minion wave to come through, as Granger throwing out that first skill gets a bit of damage onto the Akai, but we know what's going to happen with the Florin. Brody finally taking down the turret. There's the feathered airstrike once more. It's Tick with the flicker play into the backline. Implosion does land, but he's going to get CC'd up with a heavy spin. Spear of Alpha into the mix once more, as there's the windstorm coming through. Clears out the minion waves. Did a lot of damage, caught onto a lot of people, but Florin once more hits that floral broom. Everything's going. It's going to be Brody aggressively onto the Tiger. Torn apart, out to Trisna. It's a torn apart memory. He's going to get CC'd up. Rose Gold Meteor does proc. Final tier 3 turret is down. The base is open. They're going in for the lockout. But Trisna, he has other ideas. Lands a penalty zone. The feathered airstrike cancelled up. But Brody, he's not interested. He's just locking onto that Nexus. Takes the first game for no game, no life. Yeah. So, very, very good match. First one off the bat. This is a best of 3. So, Leo do have the opportunity to pull this back even and maybe take us into a third game. But the way no game, no life are looking right now, Florin picking up the MVP. 1-0 and 15. Not often you get to see your roams doing that. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Strong, quick, clinical. Don Rayo, yes, the heels on Florin was just, it's just disgusting. It's just not right. I was like, what is this? It's all the damage comes through. I mean, Vale with his windstorm usually sets up or either one-shots people. And then the windstorm hits onto 4. Florin just hits that ultimate at the same time, and it's as if Vale never hit the windstorm in the first place. So Darth Window was just on the stream. Looks like he's going to be back in the mix. Will we see him pick up the Franco, Senator? Yeah, we're just waiting for the final member of No Game No Life. It's Baby29 went offline. Maybe went to restart. Alright, so for those of you tuning in right now, it's No Game No Life on the left hand side up against Leo on the right hand side. No Game No Life taking the first game in a very dominant fashion. Yeah, my friend, you go for the share. You press that share like button. I'm glad you're enjoying the games. This is the last day for the Zimbabwean national qualifiers, though we already know who's qualified, as Zinatan sits quietly there smiling to himself when I mention that. It's Primordial Vanguard who has qualified. So all the teams left are playing for Pride. It's the last day of this particular tournament, but it won't be the last time we're going to be featuring the Zimbabwean teams. Okay, so we've got everybody in the chat. Everyone's readied up. Let me press the start button as we get into the second game. Well, Leo be able to even the series out with the player swap that they've brought in, or will it be no game, no life, or ends it all? That is true. Good positioning there. But as we speak about the man in question, he doesn't ban.
Payback time.
Yeah, respects ban coming through early for Leo.
Need some stitches? I can help.
Melissa as the ban for No Game No Life, and Iratel as well. So going to focus the marksman lane with the bans from both teams.
Snowflake's breath, as timeless as a glacier's heart.
Only love and night are ever.
Sicilian up against an Aurora. That's going to be interesting. And Ndabazile, we've got Zinatan. He's back. He was just doing some admin work. So if you hear him being quiet, it's because he's going to do some admin work in the background. If you don't know, when you're organizing a tournament, the amount of stress that goes on in the background, I'm telling you now, there's a lot of stress that goes on in the background. Oh my goodness, it's crazy, like the amount of work.
The world desperately needs.
So Captain Yami with the Julian pick. Yeah. They were leaving it open, saying we have no fear of the Franco.
Light me up and watch the world.
Well, they do have one more ban. Let's see what they go for. That's true. That is true. And the range and slow and CC that's provided by this Sicilian. And we've got Sly here picking up the Xbox, so going to be dishing a ton of true damage out there.
Highway.
Oh, really?
True love is like blood.
Oh. Wait, let me see. Okay, let me just restart the
Yeah,
sound of it.
I can also go out and come back in, just to make sure.
Oh no, it's fine, it's fine. I reset it. I reset it. I just had to close and open it again.
Let me do a sound check quick.
I wonder if it's working now.
So that means we commentated the whole game, the first game. We did such a nice job on the commentary together.
Well, I wonder what people were thinking, because you were.
It's better to be
You were
feared
thinking.
than loved.
I was trying to get you. We were having... my apologies. Some gremlins in there. Ooh, Darth Wendell not going for the Franco, locking onto the Akai. Hard counter to the Tigreal.
Okay. I do see that. You still don't?
And Sakuna going for the Amon pick there. Amon into an X-Borg, I'm not too sure about, or even with the Julian, because Julian can escape that endless shards using his enhanced second skill. So this is going to prove to be interesting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And Gino does have a bit of more of a beefier frontline with that use Zong and Tigreal.
Okay, so they're saying that your mic needs to open up a little bit. Let me try and put it a little bit louder and see if that would help. I think that might be better.
Okay.
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them.
All right, so
Maybe.
I think that should be fine.
Okay.
Alright, so into the game we go, both jungles starting off at the same side, so we will see that gold lane rotation. Who are you favoring in the matchup between Clint and the Hanabi?
I would say that early game, Clint does have the advantage with the skill 1 and his range. There we go.
Yeah. Forcing Hanabi to pop the Aegis early. Using the bushes quite nicely just to escape the passive from the Hanabi, but going on the retreat, not knowing where everyone is just yet. Wants to get this Hanabi low so that they can get a potential engagement. She does have that second skill available to get the shield up. Clint wants to bait out the Hanabi, but taking a lot of damage from the Hanabi's passive, has to second skill away. There's Amon, but he's going to get scouted out by Darth Wendell there. But neither team wanting to go for any early engage just yet. Oh, the freeze from the Aurora on catches onto 2. Julian trying to find that space to get to one of the damage dealers in the backline. Oh. Meanwhile, it's a kill here on the gold lane, but nice play from Sukuna getting first blood.
It was a very good move by Sakuna and Heyman. You know, he went top just to wait for who was going to rotate, because it did look like it was going to be Stormate button. Then Sicilian moved alone and he caught him off guard.
Yeah, we don't call that the river of death for nothing. You walk through that river at your own peril. Sukuna nice and early, getting the level 5. So he's got the retry advantage over the Julian, though Xborg has made the rotation across, which means it's going to be a little bit dangerous for the M1 to go through. They're waiting for the Yuzong. Yuzong needs to get that Black Dragon form out. He does go in with the Black Dragon form. There's the Freezing Glacier. It's Aurora who gets the kill there, but however, M1 secures the turtle. They're going on to the Xborg. He did come out that last inside, and he's taken down as we see the endless shards come out. But Julian's second skills away from that, but the kills going the way of no game, no life, as Clint takes a solo kill in the bot lane. The engagement onto Julian does have that enhanced skill, but he basic attacks his way.
I would say respect the Julian a bit more there. Just respect him a bit more. That was very good. Sakuna was using the shots just to poke the side of Leo before the engagement, and when they tried again to kill the turtle, most of them were already off HP.
And then the Black Dragon form coming in just at the time that it did, allowed for the counter engage, and Sukuna with the fast fingers landing the retribution. So now they're on the hunt for the Clint. He second skills himself to safety. Tigreal tries to throw his second skill onto the Akai. Akai into the mix there. The Bat's Feast comes out. The flicker being committed. Heavy spin not being used by the Akai. Didn't want to really trap up the Tigreal. Tigreal quite low, having to retreat as Clint using the passive to just zone everyone away. Aurora sticking around here just to make sure that the marksman stays safe and that everybody's retreating so that the marksman has the space to go back to farming. Oh, there's the engagement onto the Aurora. She still has the passive, however. Passive has been procced. There's the heavy spin pushing her back. And also onto the Amon. He does have that endless shots. He pops the endless shots, but it's onto the Akai. Akai walks it off as if nothing has happened. Julian on the hunt wants to go through. Tigreal knows that there's no heavy spin available, so that means he's going to have the advantage of the roamers in this particular fight.
At the same time, Xbox managed to land a kill on Baby 29 on the Yuzong. Leo changing the game around.
Yeah, and it's paying off for them at this moment. The game is much more even than it was the first time round.
I do think that the first time they had swapped around roles a bit, it looks like they went more for comfort this time.
Yeah, so there's the Black Dragon form coming out as Yuzong, he's looking for his target. The engagement onto 2. There's the knockup. The Freezing Glacier does come out. The passive being procced by the Yuzong as the Julian manages to escape. But then the shots from the M1 securing the objective. The heavy spin pushes the Terizla back. But Yuzong, he wants to continue with us. He sets up the double kill for A1, and A1 decides, let me go for this red buff. Last time you killed me at the red buff, I'm going for this.
It was interesting to see that Sicilian did try to stay in that engagement, but then aim on the shots, the range, he was caught off again.
Yeah, Clint, he'll take down the turret, but it's going to get engaged upon. Oh, beautiful flicker second skill. Does he have the mobility to escape? They're trying to chase him down, but nothing doing. The counter engage coming through here. Tigreal uses that conceal, but opts against going for it. Full out, realizing that, wait, the mid lane wave's being pushed in. We need to get onto the defense. Throws out his first skill into the bushes just to make sure that it's safe for Aurora to walk through. Last time
How many lives does Clint have? How many lives? This time it's Yuzong catching Expo. They're trading in that EXP lane.
Yeah, they're really going at it, those two. I wonder if it's personal. and if it's not personal, don't you worry. You give us some time, Zunaton and I will make it personal.
It will be personal after this.
So Black Dragon form coming out from the Yuzong, but everybody has moved back to the safety of the turret. Engagement onto the Tigreal. Kai walking alongside him.
This is who use the ult first. They will literally walk next to each other without using it.
Yeah, that's true. Meanwhile, Clint with the damage onto Hanabi. Hanabi, she's in a dangerous position. We should see the endless shots come out as we see the kill. However, the counter engagement, the heavy spin is still available, but the sidestep from Sakuna as he repositions himself there, manages to get back to safety, wants to continue this. The Sanguine Claws does not manage to catch on to anybody. The third turtle is up for the game. The Retribution did come out from the Julian, so he's not going to have Retribution to contest for this. A1 still has another 15 seconds, but the way this is going, from the X-Borg, beautifully done. He used that last insanity to shut down the Amon, but there's Yuzong, he's into the mix. They engage onto the Akai, passive proxy manages to get the kill. They freeze up the Julian just so that the team can disengage.
There was a naughty implosion attempt by Tig. They're trying to pull people from the mid lane to the turret, but the heavy spin pushed it away.
Yeah, the Julian camping out here. The Lord is spawned up. The heavy spin, it's a difficult one to type. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream as we're watching Tigreal do a dance against the wall. He's just moonwalking away. I think we should be pausing here, right?
Yes, we should. Yes, we should. If I was playing the Akai in this moment with how effective Eamon is, I would be considering getting Molten Essence. Molten Essence does reveal his position when you're next to him. It gives you a bit more breathing room against him because Sakuna is dancing around him.
Yeah, that's true. It can cancel off his passive. And you're going to need the anti-heal as well, because, once anyone has his passive up, he's going to heal back. And as we saw in the previous engagement, that sidestep that he used to get out of the clutches of 3.
Yes, Eamon can be quite tricky. Eamon and Leslie, you do need to counter that. An in-game counter for that.
Yeah, you either gotta hard lock them down, but if Akai just hits that heavy spin, but he's gotta time it nicely. He's gotta get the dash in, and then the heavy spin, and save that first skill for like one final time just to proc it.
They have said everything is good on the end now.
Yeah, I don't know how good it's gonna be for Tigreal though.
They are ready for that. Oh. does manage to get out.
Yeah.
Big.
There's the last insanity coming out from the Xbox. Yuzong uses that Black Dragon form. He wants to get the passive out. Sanguine Claws is in there. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, they get a kill onto the Clint. And this with the first Lord of the game being up. Tigreal trying to zone this Sicilian away. Julian too far away right now. Is he going to have time to make the movement to contest? I don't think they're going for the contest here. Amon is quite low. Maybe going for the contest would have been worth it.
Yes, but to zone out, the Sicilian did not have information on that. It would have been a good contest.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to, I would say experience in knowing that certain XP certain junglers cannot take the Lord by themselves. There's the endless shots taking down the immortality from Sly, but Julian with the counter engage throws the enhanced first skill out. But look at the movement speed from Sukuna there. He just throws out a skill and walks everything off. The mid lane turret has fallen down. Hanabi making the rotation as there's a retribution onto the Navi. The Aegis comes out. The stuns are there. Conceal play from the Tigreal, but he decides, wait a minute here, I don't think we have our team in position yet for me to go for that.
Wow, initially good job by Team V of split pushing as NGNO took the objective, but they're leaving out that Lord. It's just slowly but surely creeping up onto the first inhibitors.
Yeah. Hanabi with the potential defense, but we should see this minion taking it down. Yuzong with the camp. Xbox comes in there just to protect the Hanabi. There's the engagement onto Hanabi. Tiger is into the mix. They take him down without the implosion having to be committed. As we see Clint pushing that mid lane turret, evening out the turrets in the mid lane. Anyone wants to go in onto this Xbox. He's just, he's not even worried about the fact that his passive's not going to get bugged.
That's interesting, using the row to go to the other side.
Yeah, and so all the tier 2 turrets are down. Julian second skills back to the safety of the base. The Bat Feast comes out from the Sicilian, but not onto anyone.
Well, looking at this game, the further it does go, it is more advantage to Team League. They do have it, but does scale.
Yeah, they have a very strong late game composition, but with the 3k gold lead in the favor of No Game No Life, they will be hoping to seal the deal, as there will be a Lord up much earlier than expected thanks to the update in another 40 seconds.
Well, the update is really hard. it's not healthy for those people winning that because they just want to end early now.
Yeah, Clint. I think he's lagging. He lagged out. That was a walk into the base. They do have another minute and a half, but we'll wait for Clint to respawn, and then we'll try and go for a potential pause. Engagement onto the Yuzong. The heavy spin does come out. Tigreal, knowing the heavy spin has been committed, they put the Yuzong down. Akai gets the kill onto the Yuzong as Tigreal, he does have the flicker implosion play, but he's being zoned away. A1 with a nice cap, finds the Hanabi, endless shots. Aegis not enough to save and manages to disengage, running away Sukuna there. But it's going to be Captain Yami saying, you know what, if you're gonna be killing my marksman, I'm gonna try and take this objective. Clint is back online and everything is fine with him as A1 once more gets the passive off. The Bat's Feast is up. There's the implosion onto everybody. The follow-up from the team. Beautifully done. It's gonna be 4 taken down. It's only the Xbox who was at the base trying to defend that tier 3 turret the minions were after. If they sense blood in the water like sharks, they're making the move. No Game No Life. Lord directly behind them. There is no shield. It's Xbox and Hanabi. They do have some wave clear between them. Tigreal walking into the front line. It's going to be the Lord making his way across as Clint throwing out those skills. It's the last insanity. The endless shot is in there as well. And as they manage to take down the Tigreal, but it's an unstoppable for the aim on the base is being locked down. This should be it. Game, set, match. Goes the way of No Game No Life.
It did look like things were turning around there, but Eamon, that positioning, he came from the back line, and just got everything correct. Tick setting up for him, getting a triple kill to finish off the game.
Yeah, well deserved MVP there by Sakuna on that Amon.
Alright, so that's it for our first match. We should be having Anbu versus NG and now next.
So Anbu up against No Game No Life. So the players will continue. Let me just get them back into the lobby, and at least the No Game No Life players back into the lobby, and get that poll up for you so you can tell us who you think's gonna win. Anbu up against No Game No Life.
I would say that from the first round, Anbu versus No Game No Life gave us the game of the tournament. That Moscow turnaround last minute.
Yeah, that's true. That actually was. I was saying this to a couple of people. That may have been the best game I've streamed. And if you check the channel, right, I've streamed hundreds. What are we sitting at? Over 370 live streams. So the viewers who tuned in picking it correctly. No Game No Life with 71% of the votes in the game up against Leo.
Wow, they did just see the dominating performance.
Yeah, we don't know if anybody was changing votes. So we do have some of the members for No Game No Life in the lobby. Let me just get one more. That's super nice there. He was in match settlement previously. Lord Kuro is offline, but we did see him lag out on the Clint in the last moments of the game. So probably going to go for a bit of a reset. And then we're going to wait for Anbu's team to show up. So, for those of you tuning in, I hope you enjoyed this match so far. It was a very fun match. Though, I would say No Game No Life putting down a bit of a stamp.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. They did play well, but playing first does make you show your hand a bit. So it'll be interesting to see how they will try to counter those very early game pressure picks coming in from NGNL.
Yeah, they've been drafting quite nicely. There was a few interesting picks, like A1's not a typical pick, but as we saw how well it worked out for the side of NGNL. But what will Anbu be cooking for us? Will they have the answers to take out NGNL? Because right now the votes are 50-50. So even the viewership is split. And if it changes, we know you changed your vote based on the performance.
Well, as you did mention, we see Nixik 21 coming in for Lord Kuro.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, it's the lag issues. One day in the future, hopefully sooner rather than later, we'll all be playing in the same venue with the spotlight being on, and then we won't have lag issues.
And there comes Mr. Echo, Mr. Hades, and SWAT, finishing up the Anbu roster for this match.
Yeah, so we're just gonna wait for the players to ready up. Once they're ready, we can get started. So it's just two more players to get ready, and then we can get into the second game of the evening. We still have one more to go after this, don't we?
No, we did not. Nigel was having because the schedule swapped a bit, he wasn't sure, so he thought we had an EO, but we actually played the match offline. So this is the final match of the tournament.
Oh, the final game. of the tournament. Atlas there once more. Atlas is just a Hades fan. So Atlas shows up just for Hades. Both names from Greek mythology. Atlas, the guy who holds the world up, and Hades, the lord of the underworld.
And here we go. It will be interesting to see. Anbu, they are priority bans for Anbu. You cannot let Mr. Hades get that alpha. So, what will NGNO do? Do they remember?
Trust.
Yes, there we go.
A lot of support for Hades here as Angelic joins the chat. Wants to throw out some love for Hades. So for those of you tuning in, if you haven't pressed that like, share and subscribe button, please do so now as we wait for Mr. Echo, captain of Anbu, to ban out the Fossa.
This time.
Well, exactly. They know it well. You do ban out the Xavier from Mr. Echo as well. You know, the top two picks from their team.
That I'm still
Yeah.
alive.
So you might as well get rid of those those annoyances, shall we say, the ones that in the hands of Mr. Echo and Mr. Hades is quite devastating.
I am more than
As
a
usual, when they do ban out the alpha, we do see Scarlet Raven and go into the jungle.
Yeah, and been very devastating on the Julian. My favorite team in MPL so far took a loss, I think it was yesterday, which was Onyx Philippines. Onyx Philippines, their rotation is ultra aggressive. I do like that early game aggressive style.
Let's make the whole world green
Oh.
and lively.
Interesting. And now taking the initiative, saying, you know what, we've done this comp before. It worked out well for us. We'll go for the Kai and Florin.
Yeah. The response being the Sicilian, so with the Kai being picked, we should see no Tigreal. I wonder if they're gonna go for the Kalia. Kalia is still open.
Yes, it is. But the person who played Kalia last time was Swat. So it's interesting to see if Mr. Hades or Mr. Echo will pick it up.
Well, Mr. Echo did. Oh, wait. I'm trying to think. I know we haven't seen him on a Kalia.
As fleeting as a snowflake's breath.
And take out the Aurora.
Timeless as
Yeah.
a
They watched the
glacier
previous game and took out the Aurora. But so it's Aurora ban coming out. But and then they had the Fossa removed earlier from the equation.
MK8 Alpha somehow being really respected in this tournament. A lot of his picks get banned.
Interesting. Oh, we see a Munsitar.
They do have the Granger, so Mensita could be to limit that mobility, but no, we are seeing a potential Barat
But
pick.
I do know my traits.
Maybe it's a pick to take it away from the side of Game No Life, because they still have an XP laner to go.
Up and watch the world.
And his baby doesn't really do well on that Barat, but he opts for the X-Book. And Nana coming in.
Yeah, wants to add that a Nana and Florin and a Kai could prove to be very deadly as a mid lane trio.
As especially with the Julian who likes to go in quickly, when Una can limit his mobility.
Severely limit, because all three of them have stuns.
Let's see who's going to support the Julian on those rotations. Is it going to be the Barats or are they going to pick a tank just for him?
That's going to be very interesting. Matilda, that's a clever pick. That is a very clever pick from the side of Anbu. Disengage.
Yeah, extra mobility so that, you limit us, but we still have more coming in.
I was just looking at the execute spell there on the Matilda. I was like, wait a minute. What's happening? I haven't seen a Matilda with an execute before.
He did end up settling on the flicker.
Going for the support emblem setup. So the heals, countering heals with more heals.
Well, this will be interesting. JK Alpha did really do well on that Florian in that game. You know, he was healing people. Veil could not do anything.
Yeah, those heals were just disgusting. Oh my goodness. So Nana picking up the flame shot there. What's your opinion on flame shot on a mage?
We certainly almost 100% sure that this Nana will build Sky PS.
Yeah, I agree. He's looking for the kills.
Smash them.
Okay, so everybody is moving. Flodden was moving, but Flodden has okay, we have life. There is life.
Almost everyone helped out on that wave clear for Julian, you know, trying to give him the advantage over the clear.
Yeah, they're also going for the opposite rotation, which means they realize they don't have the early game advantage, and they do want to be a little bit safer. Look at the damage from the Nana.
That, oh my gosh. Nana saying, go away.
Yeah. Julian throws out the Retri, commits it to take the Litho. Leslie up against the Granger will prove to be an interesting match.
I do think that next set could.
Oh, Leslie second skills, but she still has a flicker. They want to go in. Flickers back to safety. Meanwhile, just switching to the XP lane, Xbox, sensing that there's a bit of danger here, decides to retreat towards his own jungle, but they're continuing with the engagement. There's the knock up. They take out the frog armor on the Xbox very, very quickly, but he had the flicker to get back to safety.
Yes, being EXP, it is so EXP neighbor reason. You know, you'll be left alone. You have to fight 4 people coming for you and survive. Your team just survive, bro. And then, as we say that, he doesn't manage to survive.
Yeah, the Barat's going in. There's a continuation of the fight. Nana passive has been procced. Julian is gonna get caught out by the heavy spin, but uses the second skill to disengage. Florin healing the Akai up once more, but positional advantage going the way of Anbu.
Yes, without the Xbox and Nana next to him, Akai will suffer. It doesn't need the help. He does not have the damage.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Granger does take down the Leslie in on the gold lane, 1v1.
Yes, I was about to say the same thing. Granger is really good with that poke down.
Yeah, it was gonna be a battle of timing. So Granger has to wait for Leslie to hit the conceal. Leslie is waiting for the Granger to press his first skill before she conceals. A real battle there in the gold lane.
Well, just because they killed the Leslie, they came in numbers, but they get shouted out by the Florian.
Yeah, Florin now level 4. Julian with the enhanced first skill, being guided by the Matilda. Meanwhile, there in the XP lane, both XP laners do fall, but Barat's getting the kill onto the Xborg and the turret doing the final damage. There's the circling eagle, the knock up onto the Akai. Julian with the knock up into the Sanguine Claws. The floral bloom comes out, just heals all that damage back up once more. Meanwhile, in the gold lane, Granger throws out the Death Sonata. Leslie, she's already used that. Okay, she's on the hunt. He's trying to chase. Oh, but there's the Matilda. He forces the Aegis out from the Granger, just at a basic attack, waiting for it to go down. She's gonna throw that skill. She's gonna commit that. No, she already used the Circling Eagle. Just came online right now. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, there's a battle as Julian takes down the Akai. Barat's trying to front line, but Xborg doing so much damage onto him. There's the Circling Eagle knock up onto just one. Florin manages to disengage, throws out a Molina just to keep everybody safe.
Well, those engages do seem pretty quiet now, but as people do get their damage items, because people are going out with 1 HP, quarter HP. Once the damage items are online, it'll be interesting to see how this fight.
Oh, a guy with the Retribution Steel there. The fight goes on. The Heavy Spin comes out. The Bat's Feast is being used onto the Matilda. She has to flicker back. The Death Sonata did land, but that Guiding Wind's giving her the extra bit of shield to be able to make it back. As I agree with you. It looked like they needed a little bit of damage items to get the kills.
Yeah, as we see Mr. Echo going out with just 1 HP again.
Oh, there's the knock-up onto the Julian. He pops the Aegis, turns around, first skills. Death Sonata out there as Matilda is in the equation, but the team... Oh, the Molina Blitz comes out as Akai gets the kill onto the Matilda, but the chase is on for the Leslie. Leslie, she's 1 HP. Can she escape? Oh, she goes back under the turret.
Wow. Nana proving to be quite naughty with the charm for the Matilda, and Leslie couldn't escape from that.
So first turret of the game going the way of No Game No Life as Sicilian uses the Bat's Feast. Tafans, well, thank you for the compliment. They're enjoying our commentary there.
Thank you. Something to note is that I actually play Julian, and I'm a very good Julian. The Ranger is hard to catch with those Julian skills because the mobility is so high.
Barat's charging up with the Daytona Blast, doesn't manage to catch everybody. There's going to be the Floral Bloom comes out as the Circling Eagle was in there. Akai with the zone away with a heavy spin. Big fight happening, nobody is dead. Lots of skills being used up though, and a lot of skills being used up as the third and final turtle is available. However, Granger now going to get scouted out. The Retribution comes in, the knock up from the Julian. They're trying to basic attack him down. Leslie's got the snipe on him. It's Matilda who gets the kill. Meanwhile, Sicilian just zoning this Florin away, wants to get the wave pushed, has this Bat's Feast out there. The minion trying to do a final hit. The mid lane turret so low. 1 hit more. Oh, it does fall.
Nixpick trying to go for the split push, but he got caught out. There is mobility coming out from Matilda.
Yeah. Xborg trying to get into the front line. Sukuna takes a shot from Leslie. Once Leslie gets her items, it's going to be a little bit of a different game.
The fourth thing we have here is that still Nana pulling out the Molina. Okay?
Yeah. Julian secures the turtle. There's a heavy spin coming out of Akai managing to get back to safety. The team blocking out the snipe from the Leslie as he is still alive. Anbu still in the game. Not even just still in the game. They've got the mid lane turret. They're going for a chase down onto the Xbox. There's the Daytona Blast. They're going to hit him up against the wall. He's almost dead. Taken down there by the Julian.
Clinical. Xbox does seem like you have many lives, but they had many skills to counter.
Yeah, second skill from the Julian trying to get into the backline. That goes for the disengage afterwards. There's the Bat's Feast coming out from the Sicilian. The stuns, the knock up. The follow-up is in here as the Circling Eagle does come out. The heavy spin is forced out. They take down the Florin. Will they take down the guy? He's got so much of shields. He's so close. Oh, the double kill goes the way of the Matilda. And the jungle invade continues.
Oh, that's kind of going for that. We'll be sure to look at that.
Yeah, so Leslie was taken down, but was taken down by a turret. We'll just watch to see whether Leslie lagged out there. She was killed by a turret.
Oh, so much happening and so many in-game counters happening as well. Seeing that the first team to like land it was, oh, okay, you did not steal that before you did.
Yeah, Akai opting to use the retribution there as Sicilian zoning everyone away. It's a full 5-man here in the mid lane. They want to take this mid lane turret down. There's the heavy spin onto the Matilda. She uses the guiding winds. There's the floral bloom, comes out the knockup from the Julian onto 2. The follow-up is in there from the team. It's going to be the Florin taken down. The counter engagement is continuing here as Angu, they've switched up gears. The Molina blitz from the Nana lands onto the Sicilian, but the heals coming through from Florin just helping out as the Lord is up now.
Wow, Anbu does seem to know how to engage now. They are countering the skills coming in from India. No, you do see that the Xbox is quickly getting proc on his passes, and that's proving to be effective because we do know Xbox is hard to kill, but they're taking him out so quickly.
Yeah, well, they're focusing getting rid of the frog armor. Julian, is he going to get caught out after this started? There's the Sanguine Claws. Grat's Feast is in there as well. Killing spree for the Julian. You're not even safe to split push.
Nick is not learning his lesson from last time.
There's the Molina thrown out onto the Barats. Barats doesn't have enough stacks yet for his passive. He's going to try to build it up wherever he can. Because he's going to have to start frontlining right now as the Lord is making his way down the bot lane. The fight is happening here around the blue buff. Matilda with the circling eagle wants to land the knockup, goes in, knocks up the Akai. Floral Bloom is in there. X-Block can't get the frog armor off because they will be taking it down so quickly. However, they finally do manage to shut down the Julian. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. Both jungles dying in that.
That was a long fight. So much thrown in. Some people are just running away with 1 HP. This is Matilda.
Yeah, look, he's just speaking of that. Look at the Granger. He just made it back to the base.
Well, what's proving to be the difference in this fight are Sicilian. Sicilian and Matilda. Sicilian does get to reposition quite easily, and he has the poke damage.
Yeah. That's true. That is true. They do scout out Mr. Echo, but he manages to get the recall back in time. All the shields, actually, one more shield is still up. But this should be the last shield that's procced. But that wouldn't really matter. We are going to go beyond the time where your shields will be up. They do fall away at the 12-minute mark. It's another. Sorry?
Yes, as the game goes on, Sicilian will prove to be more effective. He's getting more confident. You say that. Almost gets put out.
Yeah, and then he walks it all off. He's still back to like half health. The engagement continues. Matilda's heals and that guiding wind. I mean, just look at the item builds. You can see what Matilda is building. She's already got the glowing wand and the flask of Oasis. Countering heals with more heals.
Well, that's proving to be the counter for this iconic glowing kid.
Sicilian throws out the Bat's Feast, lands the Sanguine Claws onto 2. Florin heals everybody back up, and with that we hear the sound of the Lord, so we should see the teams disengage. With the zoning away onto the Akai, Floral Bloom has to come out. Akai with the Eternal Blast stands up onto 2, but Akai, he's taking so much damage, has to flicker back, but he's taken down. However, Xbox with the last insanity with the guiding winds. Oh my god.
That's what the game is, Sicilian has that mobility, his own Matilda Airlines just waiting for him. How are they going to catch him?
Yeah. 3-0-6 on the Sicilian. Recall spam's coming out already.
There's banter between the teams in the groups. They're all in the same group, so it'll be interesting to see how it is after the magic.
Yeah. So Lord being prevented from getting towards the base by the Xbox, but we're watching both things at the same time. There's the engagement onto the Sicilian heavy spin comes out. Julian enhanced second skill to escape the Akai's heavy spin as well. Lord being prevented from charging up, as we do see Sicilian wants to get those final minions away, so that the Lord can charge into the base. Lord setting himself, does get the charge off. Lord is taken down. The tier 3 turret has been protected from the bot lane. Will we see the mid lane one fall? Xbox frog armor being melted down. Can't get that. The mid lane turret has been taken down. The top lane and bot lane as well. So all the tier 3 turrets removed from the equation.
Sicilian on Giga Chat energy. It's almost like he's got time. He's going in front, throwing those kills, almost destroying NGNO by himself. And when he does need help, Matilda pulls him out.
Yeah. Matilda was a very good pick.
Well, we want to see how NGNO deals with that. They do have the Nana to stop them, but they have to finish them very quickly before Matilda acts.
Yeah, somehow they gotta figure out how to get towards that Matilda. Force the Matilda away, at least maybe force out the guiding winds a little bit early.
Well, Akai does get his red buff. They had been invading him.
Yeah, it's still another 45 seconds to the Lord, but a lot of pressure being put on. There's the Sicilian, cuts the Bats Feast out. The frontliners are there. There's once more. The frog armor has been committed. The circling eagle is there. Kai manages to trap the Julian, finally taking him down just before the Lord, but is taken down by the Leslie. Leslie is now online. As you can see, one basic attack. Bye frog armor. She's trying to get the lock onto the bases, Leslie. She's not interested in anything else. The waves are there. It's there to support her. She's trying to reposition herself. Beautifully done. Yeah, this should be it. I think this is the last hit onto that Nexus. Anbu taking the first game.
Good by Leslie. They're locking onto the turret. I saw Sicilian going for blood, looking for kills, but Leslie said, no, I just want to win this game.
Yeah. Objectives wins games.
Do you see an interesting MVP from MKH Alpha? 005 MVP?
Yeah. I've never seen one like that before.
Oh, it was a very tight match, 8-3, not a lot of kills being given away. These teams do know each other now, so you won't be getting those all-out bros unless something crazy happens.
Yeah. But it was very, very, very entertaining, though, I must admit. As we just get the teams back into the lobby, I'm just trying to invite everyone. And if you just give me a minute, I'll be back with you shortly.
Alright, no problem.
Right. I'm back.
Alright.
That kind of person asking who's the Zimbabwean champion, since this is the final match on the last day. Well, I will leave Sinutan to answer that question.
Primordial Vanguards, they you know what, I'm not supposed to be answering this one because it was sound but they did go, they ran the tournament undefeated, it was well deserved. And yeah, they will be representing Zim for IESF.
Yeah, that was a bit of a setup.
I was deep into it. I was almost good. Oh, please.
So yeah, just to reiterate, it was Primordial Vanguard going undefeated in all their matches. So naturally, they will be representing Zimbabwe in the IESF tournament.
All right, I think MK8 Alpha was just doing some team admin. He did swap back in Lord Kuro for Nixik. He might have said, Nixik, those split pushes we do not like. Take a seat for now.
Yeah. So they're bringing in some players from the first game, the ones that they won up against Leo. Let's see how the change-up affects the outcome of this game.
Leo does no game, no life as a hand. They banned out the Irtho, they banned out the Father. But who do you ban for Team Anbu? Sorry.
Anbu is definitely a team to watch out for in the future.
Yes, it is. They did ban out the Xavier, which is a good ban, but they brought out the Sicilian, and Mr. Echo did not even mid. So it's hard to counter such a team that is so fluid,
The choice is
But they just go, they say, you know what, you can do whatever you do. We'll take out the main picks.
Yeah, that's true. It looks like in the future, once they get their synergy going, definitely one to be on the lookout for. So same bans as the first game so far, except the Granger being thrown in the mix as a different one.
I do think if I was NGN now, I would play it naughty. I would steal the Sicilian right now.
Let's go.
They do have priority. Oh, but they took the Irithel. The Irithel was left out this time.
So it looks like they are loving to have an Irithel in the team, so they go for the Irithel pick. Will we see a swap out with the MK8 Alpha? What do you think?
Probably, but it depends. Sakuna has been jungling from them. They also have the ability to swap out roles. MK8
I've been
Alpha
itching for a
can
real
go
fight.
in jungle as well.
Kalia being picked up, as well as the Melissa.
Yeah, this will be an interesting game. Black Sky signature pick Melissa and Leslie. So he picks the Melissa this time.
Wants to sustain through the damage that can be dished out from the Irithel in the early game.
And Kid Alpha thinking about that Aurora.
Bleeding as a snowflake's
Right.
breath.
So locking on to the Aurora, though I'm not too sure how the Belleric and Aurora will combine, because both their ultimates have a little bit of a long cast time.
Yes, I do think that the timing will be important. If one gets it, the other follows.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The timing will be important. Yes, Angelic, I do. That is true. Irithel does counter the Leslie, so we wouldn't expect the Leslie to have been picked up with an Irithel being there first.
Wow. I do think that between 9, that's the interesting part of India. Besides GK Alpha, everyone, they can jungle. So they do have comfort, and swapping around roles, they take out the Amen.
You cannot buff.
Yeah, so they were definitely watching the previous stream, doing their homework.
We get to see that Sakuna is on gold lane right now. So, they're like, we're taking out that Amen, but Amen is not even there.
Night
Yeah,
forever
nice
living.
ban coming through from the side of NGL. Seeing the Camilla being picked up, they're like, no Sicilian, definitely no Sicilian for you.
Yes, that does leave Mr. Echo with the decision. They prioritize getting the Kalia, but will that prove to be costly in the end? They take the
Ooh, if they go for this could prove to be deadly. Because then you can look at Melissa dealing out that AoE damage. You've got the ultimate from the Eve with Camilla, so it'll be like curse blood into real world manipulation. That is quite dangerous.
As we see NGNO round out its picks, baby, considering that soldier, but still had one thing, more crowd control.
Also, that Deadly Catch ultimate is quite good at securing objectives.
This will be interesting. Will Kalia be able to jump in as she likes? There is Gato, there is Belleric, there's a lot of tones there. They could control where she goes.
That's true. That is true. And it's a clear XP lane. You can see that from the Petrify and the fact that Kamilla's already been picked.
Mr. Hades with the skins as usual, saying, no, I'm gonna pull out a Harriet jungle. He swaps out that skin for the hunter. You know what?
This guy.
We know. I swear. Now, come on, I'm rooting for you. Please silence this man.
This guy. Yeah, this is not like we're just talking about the Harriet skins. If you're wondering about what skins we're referring to, just go back and watch the previous streams. You will see Alpha Legend skin.
2 legend skins in one day. Then was it Granger? He had 2 legend skins.
Yeah, it was the Granger Legend skin as well.
You know what? We move on. We have no tears at all. No tears at all.
Well, but Harriet in the jungle is one of the old school jungles.
I do think that the composition last year with the need to go down on the Camilla to hold them in place, he might do very, very well.
Yeah, the slows. There'll be a lot of slows coming through. With the Eve, Camilla stuns in the mix there. They have a huge team fight potential to Anbu at this moment in time.
Harriet is also very, very good against Gatotka because Gatotka does return physical damage dealt, not magic damage dealt.
Yes, and to actually lock down a Harriet, you need to have hard CC. And as we were mentioning earlier, both the ultimates from the Aurora and the Belleric have a little bit of a delay in their cast time. So Harriet has that mobility to dash outside of the range.
As usual, EXP lane, the fight is on. Gatotka versus Kalia will win, but I think Lord Crew is saying, those heals are too much.
Yeah, and now we switch to action on the top lane. Vengeance coming out from the Camilla. Bane into the mix, slowed out by the Eve there as Harriet wants to get an engagement, wants to continue. Camilla frontlining, there's the Deadly Catch, misses everybody, however. Oh, we see the counter engage. Melissa trying to do some damage in there. Aurora with the freeze. It's Harriet trying to find the angles to get that dashes off, but lots of skills committed. Everyone's still alive. As we switch back to the XP lane, and we expect both teams to be making their way across the river towards this first turtle.
It will be interesting to see what Bane goes for. Bane is quite versatile in his build, but if he does go for that burst physical build, with how Team Anbu is clustering, his skill 1 could be very, very different.
Yeah, that's true. They did take everyone quite low as Belleric just sort of fake recalls, moves back into the position. Oh, look at that from the Eve. Almost proccing the passive. Camilla is into the mix. Deadly Catch comes through. Camilla is first blood, but I think that would be enough to... Oh, the Tsunami Slam onto the Bane. Kalia, she just wants to continue this fight. Bane walks it off. The first turtle does go the way of Anbu, but I'd say it's an even trade-off. Turtle for first blood.
Ooh. Getting put out trying to recall, not understanding why he's not recalling, but he had thrown the skill there.
Yeah, committing the real world manipulation as well, as Harriet steals farm away from the Bane.
Very aggressive coming in from Team Anbu. It was interesting to see. Gatotka did come in for the jump, but he was a bit slower. Okay.
Yeah, we just got just got the referee in time.
So the engage coming in from NGNL is a bit slower than Anbu. Whereas Anbu is quick and effective.
Yes, it's we mentioned it in the drafting phase. They're going to have to be very patient and use their skills only around the major objectives like Turtle and Lord, because their skills are not designed for pickoffs unless someone overextends.
Yes. But you see Bane looking for that gold lane gank, but I do think there is the 2 do rotate to help gold lane. That's where you get it. That's where you get it. Counter what everyone wants to be expecting.
Yeah, the Cursed Blood does land onto 4. Harith is in there, as well as Melissa, the counter engage as they take a 1-for-1 exchange. But Harith, he's not done. He's going in onto the Aurora. Aurora still has the passive being procced, as they should be able to take the Aurora down. So Aurora taken down, and there should be a lot of gold, because Iratel had to recoil.
Yes, Anbu reversing the reverse gang, making sure to get the kills. I don't think NGNO was ready for that one.
No, the speed for the side of Anbu playing very much into their advantage.
As you see, Ares will pick up the Windtalker, more movement speed for her.
Yeah, so Tsunami Slam onto the Iratel, real world manipulation into the mix. The counter engages there, the Wrath of Dryads with the deadly catch as they're trying to the Freezing Glacier as well. The Cursed Blood does come out as there's the Harith. He just wants to focus the Aurora, knowing that's the damage dealer, takes the Aurora in the backline. It's gonna be everybody except Gatto, who decided against rotating. He was making his movement. He's like, no, everyone's dead.
Yeah, Kalia was there already, good rotation and coming in from Kalia. But the moment, by the time Gatotka realized that she was there, it was already too late.
Yeah, that's true. But a lot of aggression, the kills and gold advantage on the side of Anbu, but still the map is opened. It's anybody's game when it comes to map control, and as we all know, it's not kills that wins games, it's objectives. It's the turrets that you gotta take down.
Yes. Gatotka could have used that opportunity to split push, because he did have the information that they were all top, but trying to come, he was caught in no man's land.
Yeah, so it's another, that's a life lesson. It's like wherever you decide it early. But there's the engagement here, the deadly catch comes out, but they do stun up the Brain. The Cursed Blood is in there as they've managed to take the Brain down on the bot lane. And whilst we were talking about turrets, Eve making the split rotation, a 3-2 rotation split to help Melissa take down the top lane turret. So the 2 side lanes have fallen, but mid lane almost being taken out here by the side of No Game No Life.
Yes, Anbu overwhelming No Game No Life right now. Everything they do is so well coordinated. No Game No Life has no chance.
Yeah. It's like whatever they're planning to do, wherever they're moving, Anbu is already there. It's like they got into their heads. Maybe all that gamesmanship on the group chat has played in their advantage. Engagement onto Sakuna. Oh, they take him down. There's going to be the Avatar of Guardian with the deadly catch. The Freezing Glacier into the Wrath of Dryads. Beautifully done with the Cursed Blood. Uses the counter to engage. It's so many people dead for both teams here. Anbu, they've got the damage as the Kalia with a stun. The real world manipulation comes out. The team fight 4-1 in the favor of Anbu. They just it looked like they were dead there.
Well, it was interesting to see that Black Sky, the MM was not even there. Melissa was split pushing, and well, NGO did not have enough damage.
Yeah. Well, the gold lead definitely telling at this moment in time. I'll just get the bulls up for everyone to see.
But the way back in for No Game No Life was kind of shown. If they go too far or too deep in and Bele throws his bolt, everyone will be caught.
Oh, Tsunami Slam onto the Aurora. Passive comes out. There's the Cursed Blood. Lovely timing from the Camilla there. Mid lane turret is down. Harith is into the mix. They take a double kill here. While Melissa not even in the fight, split pushing here. Gonna take down a tier 2 turret as Gatto wants to try to defend his tier 2 turret, but he's gonna get taken down. Switching back to the mid lane action in here. The disengage coming through from the side of Anbu, but they're sitting in pole position right now to take the victory and the points.
More than an 8k gold. 8k goldly right now coming in from the team of Amber.
Yeah, Tsunami Slam, real world manipulation is there. Monster kill for the Eve. Saying you wanna ban out my saviors? I'll show you something.
I do like this. I do like the other things coming in from these players, showing in that no, we're not just one trick ponies. We have other things going on. Harry, with the damage.
Yeah, he's gonna have to retreat. The team comes through. There's Melissa. The Avatar of Guardian comes out. Doesn't manage to land on the mark. The Freezing Glacier as well, as it's 2 taken down. The mid lane turret should fall. Camilla doing the split push on the top. They want to try to get these waves towards the tier 3. Oh, Tsunami Slam onto the Aurora. She's blown up. Deadly catch. Not managing to land as Melissa dashes in, forces Sukuna to have to retreat to the base. This should be a tier 3 turret taken down. Harith dancing around. They're engaging, stuns up the pain. There's the Curse Blood onto the Irithel. The wave is in there. Harith is quite low, has to get out. Manages to escape though, Mr. Hades on that Harith.
My God. And her getting killed like in a split second, it's dangerous. I've never seen a Eve get this fed. 818 on Mr. Echo.
Yeah. Eve, which first came out, was super dangerous. But an offend Eve, I mean, the amount of slows she's gonna do, gonna provide the anti-heal and that real world manipulation. There's engagement onto the Gatto. Tsunami Slam comes through. They take down the Gatto. It's killing spree for the Melissa. Lord is already in the favor of Anbu as there's Sukuna. He wants to finally get rid of that Eve, causing so much of problems, but forcing the flicker out. Lord pushing through to the mid lane. Could this be it? Gatto is still another 11 seconds before he respawns. The mid lane wave is in here. Melissa gets the lock on. Belleric wants to try to do something. Melissa is just trying to get all the tier 3 turrets she possibly can. Lord, we're gonna move through the top lane. They're gonna wait for the Lord to come out, give themselves the angle to try to get the lock on. Melissa gets stunned up. There's the Freezing Glacier. Can they catch the Melissa out? Yes, they do, but the Lord is into the base here as the real world manipulation lands. There's a Tsunami Slam. It's gonna be the deadly catch. The defense coming out from No Game No Life. They take down 2. It's a 2-for-1 exchange, but the counter engage is on. Irithel is fallen. The waves are through there. It's just the Aurora, Gatto, and Bane left alive. Harith trying to dance around doing the damage. Takes down on a mega kill. He's going through. They get the Bane on a double as well. Oh, Aurora passive proc, but this should be a triple kill for the Harith as Anbu dominant in the final game of the Zimbabwean qualifiers.
Oh, wow, that Harriet, Mr. Hades once more dancing on that Killua.
Yeah.
Doing very well. He did the skin well. You know, you can't hate on that at the end. You can't hate on that.
Yeah, so Anbu closing out what has been an exciting week with the Zimbabwean national qualifiers. It's Primordial Vanguard going through to the IESF grand stage. They're going to be up against some big teams, so I hope all of you are going to show your love and support for your home team in those matches coming through. We will try to get those schedules up and let you know where to watch it, because I know the last time around a lot of people were like confused as to where to watch the games.
I think that this year a lot more people are aware of the tournament. Last year, even Zimbabwe was not aware of it, and we did not participate. But this year, we're in it already, so it will be fun, especially the southern regional qualifiers, because we will play the teams which are used to seeing.
Yeah, the southern regional area, we've got a lot of Mobile Legends players. Because you're looking at Botswana, you're looking at South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Madagascar, Mauritius. They're all in the mix.
That will be fun. That will be fun, you know. time to hide our picks. It's interesting that we did play this online. People got to see, but that's another reason why we wanted it. We didn't want to just have one way to play. Online, people were starting to counter our picks, counter our playstyle, and we had to keep on learning as well. We had to become something else. So we hope that we will be ready.
Yeah, also it helps being in the spotlight because, as I'm sure you realize, it's one thing when you're playing the custom matches against one another. It's another thing when you're on stage and anybody can see. There's a little bit of extra pressure.
Yes. In regards to Zimbabwe, that is, this shouldn't be the last time you see us. We did enjoy working with Wayland, and we're going to cook up some tournaments where we'll try to showcase people in Zimbabwe once more, show the talent so that there are players out there.
That we will be definitely looking forward to. But I definitely enjoyed, like I said, the most exciting game that I've casted out of the 370 something games so far actually came from this tournament. That Moscow play was just, oh my goodness, you were there with me. You couldn't have written a better script, even if we sat out and planned this whole thing out ourselves.
What was amazing about that match was you had hope. You said no game, no life can come back. I was like, it's over, man. It's over. I'm shredding everyone. That was such a good match.
That was definitely. But to everybody tuning in, thank you for watching. It was a pleasure having you all here on the stream. If you haven't already, please press that like, share, and subscribe button as we will continue bringing you Mobile Legends. The PUBG tournaments start on Thursday, so for all of you PUBG fans out there, we do have a tournament kicking off on the 3rd of April, so you can take a look at that. We'll have Mobile Legends actions as per usual, so you're more than welcome to come and join the stream, join the community, come and have a lot of fun with us. But thank you once again for watching. Any final words, Zerjan, before we close the stream?
I'm just grateful for everyone who came, enjoyed, and just supported the teams. There was a lot of activity and chatter in the chats. I'm just happy that people were there.
Yeah. So, hats off to all of you for tuning in to watch. We can't do it without you. The players, the supports, the fan. We need all of you in here. It makes the tournament, makes the atmosphere exciting. So, once again, a big thank you to all of you. We will see you next time. But from myself, Waylander and Sinatan, this is gonna be goodbye and good night.